One of the baddest off-road vehicle on the planet is finally here. Let me introduce you to the 2024 Hummer EV SUV. I'm back here at Orange Buick GMC in Orlando, Florida to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out starting right up front, walking around it, talking about the technology, the powertrain, the dimensions of it, and finally ending up on the interior, playing with the newest technology and taking it for a spin at the end. If that's something that interests you, don't forget to look up the rest of my channel. Consider subscribing, really means the world to me. And now let's get back to this. So the long-awaited Hummer EV SUV is finally here, and I gotta tell you, it looks absolutely amazing. This vehicle, even though it falls under the GMC umbrella, still has all of the characteristics of the early Hummers, the way that it's designed. Now let's take a look and see what we have here. First of all, if you look at the front end, you can see the sides of it. They kind of bolstered up, they're bulged up with the indent in the middle, and then back there in front of the windshield, again, you have a bulge right there. Now this opens up, and I'll show you that in a minute, but right here in front, you also have the LED daytime running lights / turn signals. See how they work. Right here, look, sequential turn signals, really nice. Now this serves as an indicator of the battery charge, and right in here you can see Hummer spelled out, EV by the R, because you can't forget that's a fully electric vehicle. And down below here you have the headlights and GMC logo. You have the front camera. There's plenty of cameras around this vehicle, one underneath it as well. And what I want to point out too, that this is not just for show. These are real heavy recovery points right here, as well as the skid plate. This is all metal, no joke right here. Let's see if we can open up this front frunk and press it twice on this brand new key fob, which basically looks like any other GMC key fob, except it has the Hummer EV spelled out. And now that it's open, let's see what we have. Quite a bit of storage here. You have the HEV right here. Don't confuse it with a hybrid electric vehicle. This is Hummer electric vehicle. You have some illumination in here. You also have the release in case you get locked up in here, so you can get away from this vehicle, or in case you want to stay in here, you can charge your phone and do your thing right inside of here. Now this is all automatic for the extra storage space, and the good part about it, that this is measured so it can fit those glass top panels that are removable as well. I'll show you where they are. Well, since I can't show you the powertrain on this vehicle, let's talk about the performance. So it is powered up by the 3 electrical motors on this particular one. This is the Edition 1. If you opt in for the lower trims, they are available with the 2 electrical motors. So this particular one produces about 830 horsepower between the 3 of them, and what Hummer claims about 13,000 foot-pounds of torque. But when it's measured at the crankshaft, it probably would be about between 1,000 and 1,100. So I mean, it's still a lot. As far as the range, this particular one has the bigger battery pack, and it's about 314 miles range, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, which is madly fast for a vehicle its size. Speaking of which, about 86.8 inches wide, hence the requirement for the positioning lights, which you'll see right on top of the windshield right there. And then as far as the width, length of this vehicle is about 206.8, so it is large. It is shorter, however, than the truck, and the wheelbase is 126, which is about 9 inches shorter than on the truck. I like the color of it. All the edition 1 comes with this matte green color. Looks really sharp on it. Overall, the shape I like. It's boxy. It's very unaerodynamic, which means that you shouldn't expect the speed that you'll get on this vehicle, but you do. Also, it's very off-road capable. It has an air suspension, which we can see parts of right there, and this allows this vehicle to be lifted off the ground another 6 inches, creating this huge ground clearance. And I have the big tires on it, 22-inch rims, 305 by 55 is the tire size. Normally I would prefer a bigger balloon, a bigger sidewall on the tire, but this one looks pretty sturdy right there too. Now it also has all of the off-road goodies, including that front skid plate underneath this vehicle. It has the rear wheel steering, the crab walk, the whole 9 yards. It also has what mimics the locking differentials on it, so it is very off-road capable, and it's quick too. Let's take a look at this fender flares. You can see how they extend from the rest of this vehicle. Really nice and thick right there. You also have this cladding around it and this nice kind of sparky color right there, and then at the bottom you have the real very sturdy side steps. Mirrors, pretty cool looking ones. You have the rear view camera, or actually side camera, right in here, and inside of the mirror you have the heated elements and the blind spot assist. And if you look at the top of this vehicle, it's all blacked out, but these panels actually come off. You can take them off, store them inside of this front compartment right there. I'll show you how they look once we're on the interior of this vehicle. You also have the smart entrance system, so you can see the buttons on. You can lock, unlock this vehicle as long as you have the key somewhere on you. And right here, this is a pretty nice feature as well. Nice little Easter egg. This is the American flag inside of this trim piece towards the back. And since it's an electric vehicle, the charging port is right here. So it can be charged with the DC fast charging. It can be charged at home. If you have the 240 volt adapter, it will probably take you about 16.5 hours to charge it from 10 to about 90%. If you have a DC fast charging, it's probably going to take you just over 2 hours. So keep it in mind and plan accordingly, because this is not a vehicle that's going to charge in about 20 to 30 minutes. It's also not cheap to charge, with the average cost of kilowatt hour right now being around 50 cents. This battery would probably take about 300 kilowatt hours, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but that would be about $150 to charge it fully. Now here's the back side of it. I like it. Again, the positioning lights right on top. You also have the shark fin antenna. You have one camera right on top, another camera inside of this rear tire cover right here. Hummer spelled out. You have some references to the moon landing, of course. I love the lights. Now, somebody told me that these lights are thousands of dollars to replace. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but look how nice and bright they are. They're all LEDs on the inside. Looks absolutely amazing. Hummer EV on the side. You have the tow hitch right there. Not sure what the tow rating is on this one. They also have the trailer brake on the side, as well as the 7-pin connector. I believe that's the only one that you'll get in here. Yeah, just a regular commercial grade connector basically. And the heavy duty tow hitch. Below. This is where you open the gate, and you gotta make sure that you park further away from an object like a garage or stuff, because it will hit it, right? Not sure if why they did it this way, probably because of the tire. Now this glass also rolls down, so you can open it up like you've seen on some of the older vehicles, some of the Toyota 4Runners as well. Hummer EV spelled out on the gate itself. And inside you can see we have a whole bunch of goodies in here, that including your home charging kit. You have the bags to put in the window panels, the roof panels inside of here. Then you have the vehicle cover as well. Plenty of space behind the second row seat, and if you want it more, you can also fold down the seats right here. Boom, boom, and this is what you're gonna get. as far as the roominess. And maybe this is the best angle to show you those panels right here. Each one of those panels is removable, so you can create this open air experience inside of your SUV, which is a super cool thing. They call it the infinity roof. They're dimmed, so they don't actually let, you know, very bright light in here. Now, this is what we have for cargo. Let's see what we have for passengers. Let's get this door open and let's take a look at the rear door panel. I like it. It's built very solid. Now, some people say that there's a lot of plastic in here, but this is all like a softer material, including this one right here. Yeah, this is hard plastic. This is basically out of reach for regular touching. Then you have this heavy-duty looking door handle and the speaker built in. It's a Bose stereo, and you can also see that speaker cover has some moon landing references in here. A little bit of this bronze trim, and a place to put your bottle of water and some stuff right at the bottom here as well. Let's take a look and see as far as what the seats look like. Now, this is a combination. This is this waterproof material that you see. It looks very sturdy. It's also pretty comfortable, and you have this leather inserts in the middle. Inside the armrest right here, you have a built-in cup holders. And then if we look at this middle console here, you see that you have a separate zone for the climate control in the back. You also have the heated seats, USB Type-C, USB Type-A right here. A little shelf built in at the bottom here, and the regular household outlet at the very bottom of this console right inside. There are seat back pockets that are built inside this front seat. Well, let me jump inside and see how much room there is inside. So here's my knee room. I have just over an inch in front of my knees, so not a huge vehicle, but big enough to fit a 6-foot adult behind a 6-foot adult. And right here, you can see there's no shortage of headroom, probably about another inch, inch and a half. Plenty of shoulder room. I actually feel very comfortable sitting in this back seat, but let's get in the front, see what's going on there. And let's hear the sound of the closing door. Boom. And it sounds surprisingly well, considering it is a frameless design right on top. See, the glass has no frame on top of it, but it sounds really, really good. Let's see what we have in the front door panel. So you have the Hummer EV kind of embossed in this fabric. You still have some of the bronze elements here. 2 memory seat settings. You have the warning assist right here. You have the lock, unlock, and also you have the window middle lock controls. A little bit more storage, bigger speaker in the front. Again, looking at this moon landing references, as well as this right here in the window seal, that Hummer and the all-season mats, again with the moon map. Now, the interior is pretty cool. Before we jump inside, I also want to point out that it has this floating console right there, creating tons of room for additional storage right underneath here. And let's check this out. I love this Hummer EV trim. Now, this is deep enough so you're not really touching it with your back. And again, you have this fabric on the sides. You have the leather on the inside of it. Really nice, really comfortable, full of technology. By the way, the steering wheel is tilt and telescoping right there, up and down, back and forth. Let's see what those buttons do on the side here. So you have the electronic parking brake. You can open the front, you can open the rear gate. Now you also have the lane keep assist. You can lower, I believe, all of the windows with one button, which is a pretty cool thing. And you can enable that onboard generator here as well. Now let's take a look. All the windows are open, and that includes that window in the back. Can we get them up with one push of the button? The same button doesn't do it, so I guess you have to do it individually. And anyways, let me jump inside. I'll show you the rest of this cool interior. And here we are in the interior of this 2024 Hummer EV SUV. I gotta tell you, it looks super cool. If you're a technology person, you'll love it. If you're not a technology person, you'll find it interesting. If you're a person that commented on my Subaru video that the 8-inch screen is too big and distractive, then don't watch it because you're gonna freak out. Absolutely. All right, so what do you have here? You see you have the 12-inch screen in front of it. This is your instrument cluster. You have a 13.4-inch screen in the middle right here for the infotainment system, but overall the design of it is super cool. Look at this. Check out these huge vents right on the side. They're covered in this bronze trim right here. Works really well with the rest of this interior. Now the edition 1 right here, this is the edition that we have for you today. Hummer EV right on top, and then the grab handle also right there. You also have the mirror, which is the rear view camera mirror, digital mirror. And let's take a look. Here's your steering wheel right in the middle. You have the Hummer EV. Left hand side, cruise control, adaptive cruise control, super cruise control. Now on this side you have the voice control, phone controls, as well as what's going on in the instrument cluster region on the left hand side here. And then let's see what's going on in the instrument cluster right here. So right now we're about 237 miles in range. That's about 70% or so charge right here. And then you can see whether the battery is charging or it's not on the right hand side, which right now of course it's not charging. 0 miles per hour. And then on the right hand side you have the tire pressure. You can see how inflated those tires are. On the left hand side you have a compass, and then let's see what we can change. So driver assistance right here. Now you can see what's playing right now. So you have your choices: AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, navigation system, phone connection, display layout, left side info, right side info, info page options, unit speed warning, speed signs display, software info, reset to default. Everything can be adjusted. I've done a more complete review of this system and it took me about an hour, so I don't want to bore you with that, but I just want to point out that these are all of the options that are available to you, and you can definitely adjust them, play around with them. This is pretty awesome. Now if you can see, all of the graphics were done by this gaming company that designed a whole bunch of different games, so you can see they're very different than what you'll find on the regular, even the regular EV from GM like the Lyric or any of the other ones. Now this is the 13.4-inch screen. It's huge, right? We're gonna stay in the demo mode right now because I'm not registered in here, but let's see. So first of all, right here you have the tow mode right here. So add a new trailer, use gas trailer, use accessory trailer. You can set this all up. Now as far as the cameras right here, all right, so you have the rear view camera, and then you can have the rear view camera narrow, top down camera in the back in case you want to hook up your trailer. And now you have the side cameras right here, from the front, from the back, and then you have the trailer camera just in case you didn't know how to do that, which, you know, that would be me probably. So this is awesome. And then right here you have the guidelines. You can turn these on or off as far as for the trailering or not. So overall these are your camera system. But let me put it in reverse so you can see how the regular camera looks like. All right, wider angle. Now I don't see the guidelines because I turned them off, but if I turn the guidelines on, you can see they appeared right here, and you can see the top-down view with the guidelines, as well as, you know, you don't see the guidelines in the back, which is kind of strange, but maybe there is a setting for it. But anyways, the quality of the camera is good, right? You can see all the pebbles and the asphalt behind, so it's a really nice quality of the camera. So let's put it in park, turn this off. Now you have your maximum drift. This is for your G meter right here. This is for your off-road mode, so target pressure. You can do the air down mode, so you can actually deflate or inflate the tires. So let's deflate them to 50, right? This is not a low tire pressure. Okay, air down mode active. And the horn will honk when each tire reaches the set tire pressure. All right. And exit mode when all 4 tires are at target pressure. So, you know, as you can see, their target pressure at 50 psi. Let's get it off of here. Let's see what we have as far as the navigation system. So you can see that it's a Google-based navigation system. I don't know what happened here. Stay in the demo mode. Oh, I hit go to settings. All right, so go back to the media, AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, USB, Amazon, Alexa, podcast, news, etc. And then you can see the angle of the steering, right, left. This is, by the way, four-wheel steering. You can see that the rear wheels are turning slightly as well. This is an automatic rear wheel steering right now. You can also set it up in the crab walk. Turn it on, you hit this crab walk button right here. So this is what we have. Here's your home screen. So back to audio, maps, phone, energy. Let's see what this is. This is basically charge now, charge later, schedule charging. You can set charge up to about 80%. You know, that's basically to help preserve your battery. Enable regenerative braking, which is necessary in steep mountain terrain. Charge to 80% or less. So that's what GM telling you to do. You can schedule it, energy usage, settings, you know, all kinds of different goodies right here. Go back to the home screen. This is Google based, so you have your Play Store here. So you have your pitch and roll. You have your different auxiliaries that you can program to, like if you want to get auxiliary lights or maybe a winch or anything like this, you can program those to the auxiliary buttons in here, which is awesome. And go back to the home screen. Rear climate control, so you have two zones in the front, one zone in the back. You can set up your fan speed, automatic sync it, etc. Next charge, the vehicle will charge to 100%. That's not really what we want. Let's see if I can set it up. Oh, this is for your phone. So phone, it's got the wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. You can hook it up to here. It's really nice. Settings, let's see what we have in here really quick. Vehicle, one pedal driving, it's off right now. We can turn it off. That basically enables you to just use one foot to drive it. When you let off the accelerator, it's going to start braking, and if you keep your foot off accelerator, it's going to come to a complete stop. Super Cruise lane change. Now, Super Cruise control, this is pretty cool, right? I can't demonstrate it to you right now because I don't have it for long enough, but basically it's you know, once you enable the Super Cruise control, it's gonna blink green right here, and it's gonna allow you to go hands-free, including the lane changes. If you want to change the lane, you turn your turn signal to the left, to the right, it's going to change the lanes. It's also going to be able to, you know, pass the vehicles that are in your lane, and using all of the systems that are around the vehicle to make sure that you're safe. Drive mode customization. These are actually pretty cool as far as the drive mode. So there's several of them, and actually so here's my mode, right? This is the customized, so you can customize steering, suspension, acceleration, motor sound, and there's different sounds of the motor. So you have relax, normal, adrenaline, and then, you know, here's the mode in here. By the way, speaking of the drive modes, so you can see there's several of them. The my mode, then we can go to the normal mode, and the animation in here is pretty cool, right? Then you go tow and haul, and you can see it's towing a rocket behind it. And you can go to the terrain mode, and I can see this moonscape right here as well. And we're going back here, right? My mode, off-road mode, right here, there you go. Then we have the terrain mode, a little bit steeper type of deal. Tow, normal, and my mode. All right, so this is what's going on here. Very nice, very cool. Let's take it out of there. And this is what we have in the infotainment system. Of course, this is not all, but if I wanted to, you know, go through all the features of it, we would literally have to make a full video of about an hour to go through it. And maybe at one point we will, but right now I don't have this much time with this vehicle. So on the left hand side, you have the volume and power knob right here. You can turn this off or mute it. And right below, you have the shortcuts for the climate control. So here's your temperature settings. You have the heated and ventilated seats. a recirculating button, and the same thing for the passenger side. Now down below here you have the heated steering wheel, you have the traction control, you also have the hazard lights, parking sensors, and here's your parking spaces. So this is your parking assist, so you can select which parking space you want to do, parallel on the right, on the left, or you can have the horizontal. It's canceled, see owner's manual. Okay, let's get out of here. So another big fans right there, wireless charging, USB Type-C, USB Type-A. Now my phone's been sitting here for a couple of minutes and it's been almost dead. Went from 3 to 10% in virtually no time, so this is pretty good. This is your gear shifter, a pretty good, nice, and very manly gear shifter. This is big, right? Regular things right here. Drive, you can set it to low if you wanted to, and then you have reverse and of course park. This is big. This is where you change your gears, as well as this is where you initiate your crab walk mode. So this is what we do. Like if we put it in drive, right, and I hit this crab walk, and it's gonna start engaging it. Boom, and I let it go, and the crab walk is initiated. So let's start driving. Let's see how it looks. That was the crab walk. Cancel this out. Now there's mode buttons right here, of course, but we also have the up and down buttons, and this is basically to lift this vehicle and to lower it, and this is your mode, your mission, right? I believe this is the WTF mode, right? Not sure if this is available for us. I've done it on the truck. It's super quick, super insane. And then we have the cup holders right here. Pretty nice. More storage space on top, and tons more storage inside. Yeah, fit like a 5-gallon bucket in here. This is how big it is. So here's your rear view camera mirror. Pretty nice. You also have your OnStar, you know, all kinds of settings in here. This is your lights, and this closes the rear panel, the rear glass in the back right there. I don't know if you can see. Boom, opens up, closes up. That's what it is. One more thing to mention, you know, those panels, I showed you those from a distance, they do generate quite a bit of heat though. So it is hot outside, they're nicely dimmed, and they don't blind you per se, but it is pretty darn hot if I'm trying to touch it. So you make sure you have your air conditioning adjusted to the right settings. Now, this looks awesome. Let's see how it drives. And before we take it for a spin, as always, let's take a look at the pricing of it. This edition one, which is the fully loaded one, it's the 3-motor one, it's the cool looking one with all the bells and whistles, MSRP 106,290. I don't know what it's selling for. Give the guys a call at Orange Buick GMC, see what they can sell it for you. Now, exterior color, Moonshot Green Matte. That's the color of all the edition ones. The interior color, we have the Lunar Shadow. Again, the reference to that lunar landing, the moon landing here, it's all over the place on the vehicle. As far as the miles per gallon equivalent, GMC claims it's 53 miles per gallon equivalent, which is huge for the truck like this. But like I mentioned, on the outside of this vehicle, make sure that you know how long it's going to take you to charge this vehicle, because it takes a while. And we're off. See how it drives? We have this pretty narrow parking lot right here. I'm gonna get out and get it down the road, see if we can do some of the acceleration testing. I probably won't be able to do the launch control or anything like this, but I've done it with the Hummer EV, so you can refer back to the truck video that I've done. Again, I'll link it in at the back of this video, so you can reference, you know, if you want to compare the two. Now, this one seems to be the more tamed one. This is what GMC claims. The Hummer EV truck was kind of like in your face, was almost like too much. I loved it. I mean, I loved every aspect of it. Again, this is not why I love the EV trucks, not because it's going to save the world, because it's a zero tailpipe emissions, because there's a lot of other components that go inside of that to see if it's truly a green vehicle, and I don't believe that this one is. But then, you know, this is an opening for an argument that right now I don't want to do. But if you want to do it in the comment section, what do you think about it? What do you think, it's the green vehicle or not? Put it in the comment section below. Let's see how it goes. Here's one thing that I want to mention though, that when I got in this truck to do a review, I haven't really driven it. It's been sitting here. The AC wasn't really working for the most part as I was walking around this vehicle, and it had about 277 range. Now it's down to 234. Let's see. This is strange. I thought it was my camera, but there's a kind of a rattle coming up from the top. I'm not sure if all the panels are secured enough, but definitely you can hear some of the rattling, especially when going over the bumps and turns. So it, as the body twists, you can definitely feel that. Now I know that the trucks had an issue with the leaking panels, but I think that has been addressed since. This is still brand new. The dealerships just started getting those EV SUVs like literally within the last week or so. So that's definitely something new. Now, as far as the visibility, you know, even though the windows don't seem like they're big, they're kind of like the Jeep windows. There's a very limited space that you can see out of, but because you have those panels right on top and the big windows on the side, you don't feel claustrophobic. You can see quite well in the front, and because it's a really square vehicle, you can see where it ends, so that helps out. Now, if I turn off that camera mirror right here, definitely an obstructed view because of the spare tire, and if somebody was sitting in the back seat, that would probably not be a very good view. Now, when I have that camera view mirror, it's perfect, right? No complaints. So I think that more and more manufacturers should start using that, especially on those bigger SUVs. It makes a whole lot of difference. Of course, it's super quiet on the inside. I'm going to turn the fan down just a little bit. The fans are blasting, and they're pretty loud and obstructive if, you know, as far as the hum that they make when they operate. But fairly smooth acceleration when you want it to be smooth. And what I mean by that it feels more like a combustion engine vehicle, right? When accelerating, when you're not gunning it, when you're not going too fast. So very nice feel on that. We haven't really done a full, you know, turning diameter on this vehicle, but this particular one is equipped with the rear wheel steering, and that makes a huge difference. It makes about 10 feet difference on the turning diameter with or without that rear wheel steering. It's about 46 on the one without the rear wheel steering, with the 35 with the rear wheel steering to turn it completely around. So that's a big difference. It also helps out, you know, maneuvering around the objects in the parking lot, such as those little posts or different vehicles that might get in the way. So that's definitely helpful as far as everyday driving. And overall, the interior, I mean, I gotta give GM thumbs up, a big thumbs up for that. Now, I see a lot of people might say that there's a lot of plastic. I don't feel that there's too much plastic in here. I found more plastic in the Cadillac Escalade than this. Now, as far as the door panels, they're nicely covered with this material that you find on the seats. So most of it is soft touch. At the bottom of it, you know, is hard plastic, but you really don't touch it unless you purposely get down there and touch it. The steering wheel is leather wrapped. You know, everything else feels like it's a solid construction, so really no complaints here. I'm turning around right here, guys. I'm gonna stop here and we'll get down to 0 and let's go. Wow, this thing takes off like a spaceship. We are at about 60 miles per gallon. You can hear that rattle right here, and that is really something probably that is a little bit concerning. Definitely unexpected for this size of the vehicle, but this is what we have. Now I'm trying to see, all of those panels are locked and they're still rattle, so this might be a concern for some people. Test it out and see, maybe it's this particular one, but test it on for yourself. Now most of the dealers will have one by now, at least the edition 1. I know that at first they weren't supposed to sell it, but I guess GM lifted that order, so this is for sale right now. It is available. It's at Orange Buick GMC. Give those guys a call, see what they're selling it for, and hopefully make a deal and enjoy it. It is a definitely great, technologically advanced vehicle. We're gonna try that acceleration one more time as soon as the light turns green, and it's gonna be fun. We're gonna smoke some of the vehicles around. Like, there you go, boom, and wow, it's incredible what this vehicle can do as far as the acceleration. So now the range is keeping up with the mileage as you drive, but as it was sitting, it definitely was dropping a little bit faster than I would like to. Overall, it is a great vehicle. This is probably one of the most technologically advanced GMC. Well guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, don't forget to give me a like and check out the rest of my channel. Hit that subscribe button, become part of the Matt the Car Guy family, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.